Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK back at you with another video here to break down the showdown slate with Philadelphia and Boston. We got a showdown slate Wednesday, a showdown slate Thursday. There is technically a two-game slate, but they have a two-day slate. I'm not going to be breaking that down in this video, but they do have those posted on Draftkings. Decent-sized contests if you guys are interested in that. And then it's back to the two-day slates after tomorrow, Thursday. It's back to the two-day slates, 2 games a day. But like I said, we'll be talking about the Philly-Boston showdown. Good size contest, as always, in DraftKings. If you guys are a first-time user, or if you're a first-time viewer, my name is DK. I also cover content for Prize Picks. Unfortunately, I was a Prize Picks employee today. We'll talk about that in my Prize Picks video. I'm 4-4-1, which is just not good. It's not like full, but like a losing day overall. If you guys are not on Prize Picks, you can use the code DKDFS for a 100% match up to $100. It'll be linked down below, but basically it's a player prop site where you can mix and match sports. You're building out slips of player props. It's a lot of fun. If you guys are not on it, make sure to give it a try and use that code. Take advantage of that free money. And so let's get into the video. I don't have my lineup up for tonight, but I did not cash tonight. I got off to a decent start with the first game. I had Randall loaded with a bunch of the Miami Heat. But unfortunately, relatively low on Wiggins kind of sunk me at Prize Picks too. And Reeves kind of had a subpar game. So forgetful night overall for me. But hey, I mean, you're going to have nights like that all the time. So I'm ready to bounce back. And let's see if we can do it for the showdown. So taking a look at, let's refresh, see where the Vegas totals are for this game. So we got 216.5 over under. The Celtics are 10-point favorites. Embiid is once again doubtful. We'll see, though. They did say, what was the exact quote? Consider doubtful, but could be upgraded if he responds well to workout. So there's a chance I think Embiid could play. We'll talk about it both ways. So we'll start on the Philadelphia side, and we'll first talk about if Embiid does play. So if Embiid does play, it'll be interesting to see. I assume he will get full minutes. I'm pretty surprised if he plays and gets limited minutes. So if he does play, I think he's a solid option at the top, but it would really hurt everyone else. Harden would still be playable, but guys like Maxey and Harris would probably be a bit overpriced. Paul Reed would definitely be out of play. Guys like Melton and Tucker would be overpriced. McDaniels and Niang, they'd maybe see a little bit of run, but not much. So it would really change the how I'm going to attack it with Philadelphia. Now, if Embiid is out, which it sounds like he will be, then there's a lot to like here for Philly, right? Harden, Maxey should be the go-to guys offensively. You saw a huge game from Harden, 45 real-life points last game. Tyrese Maxey started a little bit slow, but kind of turned it on there. He's a guy that's not afraid to shoot, clearly. 24 shot attempts last game. So with the two 76ers guards, I think the ceiling's a bit higher on Harden, but factoring in price, I might slightly prefer Maxey, but both look good, right? In a competitive game, these guys are going to play close to 40 minutes each. And then I really like Tobias Harris in the mid-range too. Again, assuming Embiid's out, he played 42 minutes last game. This team just doesn't have a lot of depth right now, and not a lot of wings. So they need Tobias Harris out there. Clearly, again, they put him 42 minutes. So I think he's pretty safe. Paul Reed also played huge minutes. Philadelphia got killed when they went small behind Paul Reed. So 37 minutes gives me a lot of confidence, and Paul Reed's a good point per minute guy. So I basically am pretty high on all these 76ers, assuming Embiid does not play. Melton is a guy that, played 25 minutes on the bench. I feel like he could play a little bit more. You could get, maybe 30 minutes of Melton. And Melton shot pretty well, too. So I think he looks decent. PJ Tucker played a massive amount of minutes, but in typical PJ fashion, didn't do much. Literally did not shoot in 37 minutes, went for 11 fancy points. But here's the positive thing, is he's a big part of the rotation with Embiid out. If you're looking at Tucker, McDaniels, Niang, Tucker is definitely your safest bet. You will see a little bit of McDaniels, a little bit of Niang. You saw 11 minutes from McDaniels last game. You saw Niang play 13 minutes, and that was it. Both teams are in a very tight rotation. 76ers saved their starters, plus Melton a lot of run, and that was it. A little bit of run for Niang, a little bit of run for McDaniels. So, but they switched it up. Maybe you could see Shake Milton play a couple minutes if they're really struggling offensively, but yeah. that was the 76ers rotation last game. And so let's move on to Boston. Boston also ran a very tight rotation. So they technically played 9 guys, but Grant Williams, I think, only played like 5 minutes. Sam Hauser only played like 5 minutes. So they gave their starters plus Brogdon and Rob Williams basically all the run. So that's, a positive for the main guys. Tatum, Brown, surprising L last game. 44 minutes for Tatum. Jaylen Brown played 42. Both are very safe at the top. Looking at price, it's basically a toss-up for me. Maybe a small lean to Brown since he's $2,400 cheaper, but really, really close to those two. Marcus Smart, we'll keep an eye on this news. They have him listed as questionable. I think he plays. Usually, Smart's a pretty tough guy. Like, usually he if he physically can, he'll be out there. But if Marcus Smart does not play, then you're going to get way more run. Like, Derek White and Brogdon will both look amazing, right? Because those two would see a huge bump in minutes, would really like both those guys. And then you probably would see a little bit more run for Grant Williams and Hauser. My guess is you might see like Pritchard play a little bit in that scenario if Marcus Smart does not play. But I think he'll play. So you have Smart at 6'4", White at 6K, Brogdon at 5'8". I honestly think Brogdon will be the most popular. His minutes have ticked up, but he's played well. Played 34 minutes last game. Derek White's been struggling a bit of late. His minutes have ticked down a bit, so I feel like he'll be the lowest owned. But just because he's had a couple bad games of late, you don't have to go back far to see the type of upside that Derek White brings. And then Smart, again, I think will probably be the second highest owned behind Brogdon, assuming he plays. So with those guards, it'll be interesting to see where ownership projections land tomorrow. If, for example, Brogdon and Smart are going to be way, way more popular than Derek White, then I might fire up some Derek White. I feel like, it's just a gut feeling, but I feel like Derek White will be the lowest owned of the group because of the bad performances back-to-back games. And then Al Horford, we know we're getting him. Very safe, low 30s minutes, can stuff the stat sheet. Not a guy with a massive... you basically saw the ceiling from him 2 games ago, but that was with 3 blocks and 2 steals. You can't expect that every time from Big Al. Rob Williams' minutes have fluctuated. He did only play 20 minutes last game against a small ball 76ers team. Again, I think his minutes can fluctuate. If he plays well, they can extend him. We saw it a couple times against Atlanta, but I think he's more of your tournament play, high risk, high reward. And then the value, I thought Grant Williams would play a bit more. He only played 4 minutes. Sam Hauser played 5. So I don't have much confidence in either of those guys. Again, if Smart is out, I do think I would feel a little bit better about both. And then maybe you would see some Peyton Pritchard. But that's the breakdown of everything. Now, as far as quickly talking, building out a lineup, again, both teams running their main guys a ton. So there's not much value on the slate. Below PJ Tucker, there's no one you're going to feel good about, right? Grant Williams, Hauser played 5 minutes each. McDaniels, Niang played 10 minutes each. So you get to that point where it's all right, does it make sense to go to one of these 1K guys? Well, Niang's 1.6, so he'll probably will get ownership tomorrow just because of his price point and the fact that he played 13 minutes last game. So then you have to run the scenarios of all right, is Tatum and Niang better than, I don't know, Paul Reed and Malcolm Brogdon? And those are the scenarios you have to go through in your head. It's all right, well, and look at the projections, all right, how close is it? And then if it is really close, then you can consider going to that, kind of punt play. It's just a matter of, again, the 2v2s or the 3, or what it allows you to get if you go there. So I know this is a shorter video, but that'll wrap it up. I hope it helps if you guys are playing the Showdown. Again, we do have a 2-day slate as well. Posted on Draftkings. Contest not huge, but if you're interested in that, again, it's a Wednesday, Thursday slate. So check that out if you guys are going to play. And other than that, I hope you guys have a good night. We'll see you all in the next video.